I'm real proud of this shirt today. I used to play in a band called Shock Treatment that was a real good Ramones tribute act. So I was just looking over at my 64 Strat and I was thinking, wow, man, that thing is cool. It's got an A neck, which is a real skinny neck. I like to tune this one down a half step like Jimmy did. You might not be sure what that means. Well, let's just see. I'm going to try to get it up to maybe around standard, and then I'm going to tune down to half step flat. So a half step is like the equivalent of one fret. Like here's E at the 12th fret. If you go a half step, it's one fret down. So we're going to visualize the low E going down one fret lower. So here's, I just cranked them up to maybe to whatever. There's E. Now I'm going to take it down to E flat or D sharp. Okay, here's A. Now I'm going to take it down to G sharp. And here's D. I'm going to take it down to C sharp. Here's G. I'll take it down to F sharp. F sharp. Here's B. I'll take it down to A sharp. And E will go down to D sharp. So when you tune, you just sort of estimate and spin it down. I like to turn it while the string is still ringing. I don't usually go because it drives me crazy. It's not necessary to pick it fast and hard when you're tuning. Just give it a natural, normal hit on one string. And then you're going to go through. There's the D sharp, the G sharp. I'm going to fine tune it. C sharp, F sharp, A sharp, D sharp. Now, something's wacky. So I've got quite a bit of patience with tuning. I'll just keep tuning. It's just part of the deal, you know. So I'm going to still call this E, even though I'm a half step down. It just feels like E, it looks like E, but yes, we know it's down a half step. So this is still G, even though it's really a G flat or F sharp. We don't care. We're just calling it G, and we're all acknowledging, hey, we're down a half step, right? And the D is still, we're calling it D, even though we know it's C sharp or D flat. A is, we're calling it A, even though we know it is A flat or G sharp. All right, so the advantage of this is the strings are going to feel looser and you've got a lower pitch. So it's a little easier to sing, you know, if your voice is just croaking out, you know, maybe around this B or B flat. You know, now you've got just a half step lower for vocals. So it's looser on the fingers, it's lower for singing, plus it sounds kind of gnarly and low, you know, like, hey man, I'm down low. Just sounds cool. Oh yeah, I was watching some live Hendrix footage. Man, that guy was just all over the place. He was just... maybe bending notes that we wouldn't even normally think to bend. But he didn't play, you know, it wasn't anything you couldn't kind of figure out if you knew your blues scale and your minor pentatonics, major, know a few chords. You could kind of piece a lot of it together. Be a little tricky. But like Hendrix would do your good old... sometimes he'd go way up high. what I want to demonstrate is a root note. Usually when I'm teaching, I'm like, okay, don't bend the root. All right, you can go. Stay there, but Jimmy might, or wherever you want it. If you want a whole step, is going to sound pretty okay. So yeah, I teach the E blues scale quite a bit to kids, you know, because it just rocks. So, you know, your pattern up here is going to be 15, 12, 15, 12, 15, 14, 12, 14. Then you can take it down to like 14, 12, 14, 13, 12. Sneak it down to 10, and your root, E, 12. So yeah, I don't learn every single Jimi Hendrix lick, but I kind of pick up on his sound a little bit and then do my own thing with it. The thing is, you just gotta be fluid and let it kind of float. You know, don't be too uptight. Let that music flow through you. Don't tense up, but just make it groovy. Make it flow. Be creative. Try different things with the scale. Try different moves, different phrases, different numbers of notes, like it wasn't the best thing I ever did, but versus just going. You have to kind of, I'm just saying, you know, hit one note 3 times, one note 2 times, maybe a note 1 time, skip a note, make a space. Skip over a few notes. Try to vary it as much as possible when you're improvising. That's what I love to do the most. But a lot of times you have to play a song, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I just like to jam out. So I just wanted to show you my 64 Strat one more time. It's just fun to hang out with. And keep working on your improvising. If you want to loosen up your Strat, just tune it down a half step. And, you know, maybe crack open a Hendrix book and see if you can learn a few parts. All right. Thanks a bunch. This is Brookie from Shock Treatment saying goodbye.